welcome to Let's Play X-Men Legends. I am Basilisk, and I will be your host for this LP. Wow, that was kind of botched. Anyways, really quick, we gotta get through some logos as per usual. Activision was, I believe, the publisher. Sound like here. Sorry. There it goes. Obnoxious. And of course, Marvel licensed the game, and yeah, Marvel. You're probably familiar with Marvel by now, but if not, they're a comics company making lots of awesome comics, and nowadays lots of awesome movies, and still lots of awesome video games. The actual game developer was Ravensoft. I think that's Ravensoft. Holy shit, lag, stop. No, just Raven Studios, something like that. Shit, lag, stop. Okay. Oh my god, we are skipping these. Actually, I think that's the last one. Yeah, okay. Title screens! Woohoo! I'm actually going to start my timer really quick. Give me just half a moment here, folks. Because I don't want this to go on for too long. Anyways, we're of course going to begin a new game. I do have a practice file going, and
Today
yes, I'm
on
actually
RVN
practicing.
World
Holy shit, I'm going to
News,
shut
we
up now.
examine the growing mutant menace. It's a concern of worldwide proportions. This scene took place in Russia 2 weeks ago as a young mutant stood in defiance of the military. And in the Far East, the authorities attempted to quell an uprising at a mutant camp, but they had little success.
We interrupt this newscast with a breaking story. A young woman named Allison Cressmere was identified as a mutant. The Genetic Research and Security Organization is now responding to that report, but a mob has formed and tempers are flaring.
Help! Somebody help me! Mom! Mom! I'm not a mutant! I swear I'm not! Rob, grab the girl and get out of here!
Mind if I cut in?
Stop! Stop! Stop fighting! Stop it right now! Stop!
You know they're going to have to pay for the damage they did to that building. Hope they got good hero insurance.
Hey, bub, you should have called in sick today.
Check out them early Xbox, PlayStation 2, GameCube graphics. That was sweet. Okay, I'm actually not going to harp on the graphics too much. Anyways, welcome to the game screen. Let's chop this up. Now, really quick, before we continue, I'm going to give you a bit of a bio on our character, Wolverine, here. So, I'll be back. I'm going to leave you in my own hands for the bio, and we'll be back to the game in just a second.
I'm sending you back to Oz.
Alright, so you probably know who Wolverine is. He's pretty much the most popular mutant around. He was born as James Howlett in around Cold Lake, which is somewhere near Alberta, Canada. I can't say for sure. I'm not that familiar with Canadian geography. My apologies. Anyways, he was born sometime between 1886 and 1897. Marvel can't decide when, as the illegitimate son of Elizabeth Howlett and Thomas Logan, whose surname he would later adopt as pretty much his only name. He had somewhat an abusive childhood. I can't say for sure how much because I haven't actually had a chance to read the comics detailing his origins, but I do know his grandfather was a colossal dick. Anyways, that aside, at some point he ran away from home and would eventually start using the name Logan to hide himself. And, of course, he fought in quite a few wars, as most of you know, and eventually got picked up by America's Weapon X program. At some point during this time period, he got his adamantium skeleton bonded to him, and I'll cover that more here in a second, and his memories were wiped. Sometime after this, he joined with Alpha Flight, a Canadian superhero group. I think they're mostly mutants, but don't quote me on that. Yeah, he would join Alpha Flight and would stick with them for a while, but eventually he would move on to the X-Men, where he had a he had some problems fitting in at first because he was a grouchy, violent codger, but, you know, what can you do when you're prone to feral rages and really old and have no memories? Yeah, that aside, eventually he would start fitting in, and nowadays is actually one of the biggest leaders of the X-Men, and father figure to quite a few characters, namely Shadowcat, Jubilee, and X-23, who really needs a better codename. That aside, his mutant powers are his super senses, which seem to be limited to an increased sense of smell and hearing. I don't think they've ever shown an increased sense of sight, taste, or touch that I'm aware of. That's in addition to his accelerated healing. He can heal pretty much any wound given enough time. Depending on the writers, this can take several days for serious wounds to some really ridiculous things. In one comic, he notably recovered his entire body, adamantium skeleton included, from a single drop of blood in the span of about 30 seconds. I think that's the worst it's ever been. They've toned it down quite a bit since. Thank God. So that's ridiculous. And, of course, the claws you see coming out from his knuckles. Now, what's not a mutant power is his adamantium skeleton. Like I said, that got added to him sometime during the Weapon X tenure. Cat's doing weird things behind me. Now, of course, that makes, between the healing and the adamantium skeleton, that makes him really resistant to any kind of damage. So, he is really hard to kill. In fact, I don't think it's doable without a certain kind of sword. Now then, in X-Men Legends, he's primarily, as you might have guessed from his power set, a physical tank. Very high damage, very high health, very high defense. The counterpoint to that is that he's got the focus, which deals with your MP. It's almost non-existent. Now, the counterpoint to that is that you really never need to put points into his focus. Now, especially early on, you're going to see Wolverine a lot, because he's really your best tank early on. He does start to finally start to get a little bit less useful later on in the game. But even then, he's still got, he's still got a lot going for him in terms of usability. So he's never a bad mutant to have on your team. I can never not recommend Wolverine in this game. That said, I kinda wish they'd made him a little less useful, because it would give you more of a reason to use some of your other tanks early on instead of him. But, well, you actually are forced to use him a lot for not only this first mission here, but a lot of the side stuff. So, unfortunately, Wolverine winds up with a lot of experience and has a lot of useful skills, which I will get into when I go into the menu screen for the first time. You'll see that here shortly. In the rest of the bios, you'll actually see them with the character, but, well. Anyways, yeah. In this, he's voiced by James Allen. He's voiced by Steve Blum, and his first comic appearance was, let me see if I can track it down, was The Incredible Hulk number 180, where he started as a Hulk villain, now that I think about it, in October 1974. Now, they may actually have killed him off somewhat. I doubt it's going to last long. In Death of Wolverine number 4, which was in November 2014. I really doubt it's going to take, especially with a character this popular, but hey, there you go. Anyways, yeah. That's all I've got to say on Wolverine. He's a really good character, and you're going to see a lot of him. Back to the game. Well, that was fun, and I hope educational. Or at least it was educational, I hope fun. It was something.
Let's see what you got.
Okay, we got our first enemy here. Those little markers right there tell us how to play the game. I'm not even going to bother with those. Holy shit, I might have to turn down my sound a bit more. Hey, wow, nice. Hey, pick that up! Yeah, that's basically just telling us how to equip equipment. Give me just one moment, because holy shit, this game is loud. Jack that way back down. That's better. Anyways, let's go over the controls really quick. For the GameCube version, which is the version I'm playing, I guess A. I'm used to playing the PlayStation 2 version, but A attacks. A does these basic attacks here. They're useful for doing damage quickly and breaking shit. B does heavier attacks. You actually won't see me use those very often. I don't find them useful. Y jumps. And of course, X, right now, X doesn't do shit. Okay, those little vials down here on the side, with the 4s beside them, are your health and, mutant power potions. Now, down there on the HUD, you will, of course, see Wolverine's face with the red bar beside it, which is your health, a blue bar, which is your mutant power, and a number, which is your level, and a white bar, which is your experience. Now, to use your health potions in the GameCube version, you just press Z. And to use your mutant power potions, you press and hold X and then press Z. Y brings up the menu for R brings up the menu for your mutant powers. L doesn't do anything. Left stick moves. Right stick rotates the camera. And select doesn't do shit. And D-pad does something, but I'm not going to get into that right now. I need to stop swearing. I promised myself I'd stop doing that. Yes, I am going to try and cut back on the swearing here a lot, because it was ridiculous in my old videos. And up we go. Let's chop this dude up. Let's show off some power attacks. What the heck was that? That is a pop-up right there. That knocks an enemy into the air, which is useful. That is just atrocious. I'm going to pop a healing potion. That was... really? Anyways, let's go up. Of course, you already know Wolverine is our main tank from that bio. I don't know why I'm repeating myself. Flag! Go away. The game, of course, runs at 30 FPS or so. These game tips just tell you the controls, which I just got through. Let's check one, why don't we? Yeah. Oh, hey, I forgot to throw. Explain throwing. Let's do that. That is what explains the jump. What are you? Oh, yeah, health and energy. Okay.
Time you freaks learned a lesson.
That's what X does. X actually grabs and throws enemies. I don't use it very often, and I really should use it more often because it's actually pretty helpful. I am just getting way too much gear early on. This never happens. Like the last time when I did my test run before starting this, I only got one piece of gear throughout this entire mission. Anyways, of course we want to follow Blob's footprints through Manhattan. And all the X-Men and the Brotherhood mutants will have those little bios, like I did for Wolverine, using their loading screens, of course. And I am sorry, I have the hiccups. That's Avalanche. We're not going to get into him right now.
Am I playing too rough for you?
Screw you. He just went right beside me. What? Anyways. X can also be used to pick up these things and lob them. They will, of course, break after doing so. We want to go down here really quick because I believe there's a health pack. There's a health potion. Let's actually pop one so we can pick that up. There we go. Break this because those little, we might get stuff for them. Let's see. There's one more thing I want to cover. Drop some freaking money. Are you serious? I want to cover money, dang it. Come on. That's not money. Anyways, we want to go down here. Since Avalanche blocked off our path, we're going to level up here soon. Yeah, see, that little diamond-shaped thing is money. No point to that right now, but... yeah. Mutant powers do extra damage. And, of course, leveling up gets you some stat points. We're going to jump into level up here. Oh, main menu. Objectives. Show, find Blob's trail, and track him down, of course. Map hidden, small map. That's the large map. You don't really need this. Load game is obvious. Players is obvious. This game actually supports up to 4 people. Not during this early segment, of course. But I'm not doing this with 4 people. That would be a mess. Anyways, characters. This is where you level up your characters. Press Y to go into their menu. And you can see here we have some stats. Let's talk about that. Strike, of course, increases the damage you do per attack. And your ability to hit for some reason. I don't know. This gets a little bit weirder later on. Agility increases your defense. For those who don't know, that's because, from what I can tell... Oh, shit, I forgot to set my timer back up. Okay. From what I can tell, agility increases your defense in Dungeons & Dragons, where it's used to dodge attacks, and that's counted as your defense. It's really weird. Body increases your maximum health. Focus increases your energy and energy regeneration for your mutant powers. You will hardly ever see me put a damn point into this for Wolverine. AI level is basically how the character plays when you're not in direct control. I'll get more into that later. Aggressive always attacks your target. Defensive stays away and only attacks when attacked. Normal attacks when the opportunity arises. Wolverine should always be on aggressive. AI heal this will determine when your character uses a health potion on their own. Always want this at 20% health. AI power is what mutant power they use when you press the call button, which is actually L now that I think about it. Man, I should be paying more attention to this. We only got one power right now, so we're not going to touch that. AI heal can be used at 20, 40, 80, or never. We're going to leave it at 20. Really quick, what we're going to pop in here and do is equip some equipment. 2% chance of criticals for during a melee attack, always handy. Hey! And striking +1, also always handy. Especially for Wolverine. Now, here are our powers. Brutal Slash, which is your basic power. He just lunges forward a bit and stabs them. Claw Flurry charges an enemy and hits them multiple times. It's actually pretty good. This one's really easy to use, though. You'll see me use it a lot in boss fights especially. Feral Rage enters a rage state and gives us a boost. I'm not going to touch the blacked out powers right now. Savage Rampage I'm really not going to touch on right now. Healing Factor heals over time, always handy. Sharpness adds physical damage, can't use it yet. Or adds damage and destruction to all claw attacks. Destruction is what determines, I believe, how easily you fuck up the environment. I don't want to swear anymore, dang it! Toughness increases maximum health, always handy. Mutant Mastery increases maximum energy, really useless for Wolverine. Toughness and Sharpness is useful, we can't use it right now. Healing Factor is, of course, useful. Critical Strike increases chance of criticals, don't want to touch it. Expertise adds striking and agility, another one of those powers you'll see me put points into a lot. Right now, though, I'm just going to dump, stop that, a point into Healing Factor. For his powers, they're all useful, and I'll get to this blacked out stuff when I get there, and Savage Rampage way later on. Now let's put some points into our stats. We've got one stat point to use here. Let's dump that into our agility. And accept, and we're good to go. Yeah, sorry that took so long. There's going to be... really? That'll increase my maximum health. I'm not going to use that for Wolverine, though. Yeah, okay. I already explained grappling. And, oh yeah, when you level up, it restores your HP and MP to full, or power to full, whatever you call it. Always handy to level up. Now, we don't need to break anything for anything other than mutant power packs, which we don't need. Stop that! Let's go beat up some more anti-mutant troops. Now, for those of you who don't know what the X-Men are, they are a team of mutants. For those of you who don't know what that is, in the context of the Marvel Universe, that is someone who is born with special powers. Regular humans tend to really not get along well with mutants, and tend to put them down, oppress them, and things like that. It's really a bad allegory for racism. It gets a little ham-handed at times. Actually, it gets a lot ham-handed at times. What the heck? Wow, okay. We're going to have lots of equipment going on. I'm actually not complaining, though. So the X-Men are basically fighting for coexistence between humans and mutants and to keep mutants safe. The Brotherhood, which is Blob and Mystique, who we saw in the intro, I will get bios for them up later, are basically fighting to assert human supremacy. We want to pop up here, muck up this dude. Holy jeez. I will be showing off where everything is. Now up here is a health potion and mana potion, which we now have in our inventory. And of course, I don't think you can take fall damage in this game, so don't worry too much about it. What are you on about? I don't even remember you. Oh, yeah. That's basically telling you you can mix up your heavy and light attacks to make some combos. Thanks, game. That's just the obvious. You actually pretty much only need to use the basic combo, though. Especially against regular enemies, especially this early on. Because they go down pretty quickly anyways. Where'd you go?
You're lucky you're still
Let's
breathing.
grab that. Let's see. Now, enemies will, of course, sometimes get stunned when they get hit. Some are more resistant to this than others, and it doesn't help much when you're in a group, when there's a group of enemies. So, yeah. Let's move on. Hey, let's bust these up. Because, of course, we want money. Don't need that. Always bust up your environment for pickups, especially early on when you can't carry as many health potions. Hey, Mystique. We're going to see her here in a second. I'm not going to do her bio right now because I've already had to pause a few times
Hey, Wolverine.
in this episode. We're also not going to cover
What are
Cyclopses.
you waiting for? Come on.
And Cyclops punches us. We always knew he was ours. But no, it's Mystique, so...
What's going on here?
What's going on here?
Give up.
Fool. You think I came here alone?
I would think what's going on here is that Mystique just copied your friend and backhanded you for a really cheap reason. Now, of course, these are Brotherhood thugs. They're a little bit tougher than the anti-mutant troopers. Some of them have some powers. Not that you will ever see them. And, of course, in the comics, movies, whatever else, the Brotherhoods never seem to have this kind of force behind them. Thank goodness. And sorry if I sound a little odd, I'm having a bit of an allergy attack. Brotherhood thugs, though, they're still not that tough. No, we can't go over here, and there's nothing in the water that I'm aware of. I'm not going to do Mystique's intro just yet. I'm going to save that for a bit later on. Partly because there's already been a whole bunch of just plain info dumps in this, with Wolverine's bio, explaining the stats and all that. The invisible walls are a little bad. Pop over here, and we see Pyro. I'm really not going to get into his bio right now. Oh, sorry. Yeah, see, now that creates a fire barrier that we can't cross because Wolverine just can't cross fire for some reason. Although this never bothers him in any other medium, I swear. It's a decent enough way to get you to go the way the game wants you to go, I suppose. Now, knockbacks and pop-ups are useful when getting into groups.
Best at what I do.
Of course, they can block. Hey, sweet, we leveled up again. Let's deal with that. The reason I'm not cutting out the leveling up is because I do actually want you to see what I put my points into. Now, as you can see, we've got some pretty even stat spread here. Let's see here. We're going to pop down here. We could put some points into sharpness, but we really don't need it right now. We also don't particularly need critical strike, so I'm going to put that point into expertise. And I am having allergy attacks. Wonderful. Okay. Yeah, we're going to want to save a point at the next level. Okay. And, yeah, let's just put that point into body, and we're ready to go. So, yeah, we got a nice little stat boost. Always handy. Chop that up. Thank you. I'm not going to spend too much time just chopping up the pottery because I'm pretty good on health. There's something written on the floor there. Don't need my power here. X-out mutants. Well, that's just rude. Yeah, as you can see, mutants are not popular. There's more health and energy pickups down here if you need them. You probably don't this early on. There's not much reason to use your mutant power. And as you can see, we're good on health. I don't think there's anything up here. Jump? Yeah, there's nothing up here. Alright, we need to pop down here. And this, I believe, will let us get back up if we want to. Oh yeah, sometimes you'll have to bust up the environment to continue on. Usually it's walls, but that's what tells you about that. Bust that up to get out of here. And bust up this guy. Aha. Now this is when the environment... I didn't mean to actually hit that, but this is when the game tells you that you can deal with some problems using your mutant powers on the environment. What we need to do here is basically just whack this fire hydrant to put out that fire that was right there. That is a save point. We've been going for about 15 minutes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to save the game here. That's actually perfect timing save point. And I'm not saving over that file. That would piss me off so much. We're going to save there. And in the next episode, and I'm actually going to end this episode off here. In the next episode, we will move on to the next...
The game's over, X-Men!
Really?
You
Okay.
ain't getting them.
Oh my god, go away. You can just... No. No. Stay back there. Okay, in the next episode, we're going to pick up... Why? No. Okay, in the next episode, we're just going to pick up where we left off, move on through the city. There's probably going to be 2 bios in the next episode, but it'll make up for the, yeah, this first couple of episodes, there's going to be a lot of info dumping. There's probably going to be 2 bios next episode. Sorry. Anyways, in the meantime, oops, sorry, I just bumped my mic. In the meantime, this has been Basilisk, and I will see you all in the next episode. Thank you, and good night, folks.